Okay, I hope until now you understand the very basic statement to add data to modify data. Now, I would like to teach you how we can read the data. Okay, you already know the first statement. It is to get the database, question and choice. This is the table, and then I'm going to use the time zone. Now, I would like to put a new object. So in this object, I'm not using the previous way. So in the previous way, I'm creating a new object with just calling the class. But now I want to create a new object by calling the object methods. And then I have a new other method which is create. So this is the default create method in the Django. So we are going to create a new question. The question now is, what's your favorite pet? And then, yeah, I would like to put the time zone will be now. So let me run. After you create, let's see the result. Question object dot all. Okay, what you can see now, there are three data. So if you go to the console, you can look at this one. Now you can see there are three data. It means if you use directly the function create, it will create a new data and automatically save into your database. But if you create with the primitive function in Python, like this one, if you create using the class name and then you put those two as the parameters, you need to save into the database. Okay. So this is the very basic one in order to match later with the website. Now, there are several things that you need to understand how we can read the data. In the Django, they have some kind of different statement to read the data. Let's learn one by one. Okay. Today we are going to learn about the difference between filter and get. So please look at the examples. I would like to check the question and I want to filter it with ID equals to 1. So I will get the ID 1. I want to get the data in the table questions and the primary key is what? PK is the primary key. So if I run this one, I will get also the same data, where is neighbor. So ID1 refers to the primary key one. There is a kind of rule. If you want to find some text or it is about a string, I want to filter the data, and the filtering will be based on the question text, and the question text column or the question text attribute, I would like to check everything that is started with 1. So starts with, it means all the strings start with 1. Then here we have what's up and what's your favorite pet. The first data is using where is neighbor, so it will not be shown. Now, can we get the data if I want to filter the question and the question text, which is a string, it contains head. Is there any data that contains head? Okay, yeah, there are 2 data because it is the head exactly is not available, but because we have what? We have what? So those 2 data appear. We can have another query. I want to check how many data. So filter question. The question text is the column name, and I want to know if the string contain what and how many of them are exist in the data. With this statement, you will see that it shows every data and it is available in the form of dictionary. So ID 2 and the question text is what's up, and then the publication date is this date. And then the other data will be in the different dictionary, ID 3 and the question text this one, and publication date this one. It means I want to show all the values. Now, I want to specify to show the values because maybe you have a lot of columns. So I just want to show if the question text contains what, and then I just want to show the column ID and the column question text. So I do not want to show the column publication date. And it will show 2 data. The ID 2 question text is what's up, and then the ID 3, the question text is what's your favorite pet. And I can also use some basic function statement. For example, I want to filter the ID, and we know the ID is a number, and I want to put it into a kind of list. So I want to know the ID, whether it is in 1 until 3 or not. So I can show the ID 1 and ID 3 because we use the comma. So it means I want to show the ID 1 and ID 3. So if you use the range like 1 the column 3, so you will show 1, 2, 3. So this is about filter. So filter means you can filter the data, and then you will show all the data according to the conditions. Actually, there are still other conditions. Okay, I cannot teach you all the things. See, if you need to learn more function. So for example, I just show you starts with. Actually, there is a function ends with. There's another function sub string with. So there are many other things you can learn. You can look at the information in the web for this one. Now, let's see about get. What does it mean by get? I would like to check the question table and I want to get the pk equals to 3. So I want to get the primary key equals to 3. So the primary key 3 is the question, what's your favorite type? I want to get the primary key equals to 1. So the question is, where is neighbor? I want to get the question. I want to get the question table where the question text equal what? Sorry, the starts with what? Error. Why? If you look at the error message, get written more than one question. It written 2. So there are 2 data that contain what? What does it mean? Filter, you can show more than one data, but get, you can show only one data. Okay. So if it is more than one, it will be error. That's why the error message say that your data is 2. That's why they cannot show it. That's the difference between filter and get. Now I can also do something like the object oriented in Python. I can assign a variable q. So the q will be the value of the object in the primary key equals to 1. Then I can check what is q. Q is where is neighbor. And I can check the method was published recently. What is this method? If you look at this method, this is the method that we just created. It will return anything that the publication date is higher than equal to time now minus this equal to 1. So it shows that false. Publication date is higher than now minus the time delta is equal to 1. Sorry. Yeah, it is false. Why it is false? Because this is the first data, where is neighbor, and then the where is neighbor is, if you look at this one, it was published on 30 March. So it is more than 1 day. Okay, that's why it is false. So the result is false. So you can try if we have Q2. Okay, so we have the PK3, and then I want to check Q2 was published recently. So it is true because we just published the question 3 and it is not more than 1 day. So the concept of get and filter. We use get to only read one data. When it finds more than one data, it shows error. And we use filter to read all data that satisfy the conditions. When it finds more than one data, it shows all the data. Okay, so that's the difference between get and filter. Now, let's have more complex data, and we are going to add the data in the different table, which is the choice. Let me start one by one from the top to the bottom. Now I would like to check the first question, and I'm going to put it into the queue. So we know the queue is the where is neighbor. And I want to put more answers. So you can check queue, and then I would like to see the choice set. It means I want to see all the possible answers in the table choice. And I can see all. Because we have only one answer, which is please find the URL, so it shows only one. Now, let's say I have a new answer. You know, before we have two ways to add the data. The first is we can just use the class name, and the attribute can be the parameter. This is the first way. Or the second way, we can call using the create function. Okay. Now I'm going to use the create function. This example shows the create function and how we can create the data that is connected to the question. So I have the queue. The queue is the data from the question ID1. So I would like to connect it with the choice set, and let's create it. Let's create. So the choice text is the attribute name. Yeah, this is just a value, not much. And then because we have another value, we have another attribute which is false. Let me set it as 0. And then let me give the URL name as https www.neighbor.com, because the question is where is neighbor, so I give this answer. Then if I run, then it will show choice not much. Okay, so you can see that now in the choice set it has two data. So you can also check here FAQ choice. Now we have two data. Again, let me use this. Let me use this one. Okay, I want to create another data. Okay. Create choice text is I don't know, false 0, and then this is another link. Oh, why? Oh, okay, I missed the parenthesis. Okay, then if I run this, so the choice now will be added with one more data. If you look at the column, now you will have choice. We have find the URL, we have choice not much, and we have I don't know. So this answer is for the question number 1 because we determine the Q. Q is the object for the primary key equals to 1. Now I have another answer. Let's say I put it into the variable C. Okay. So the previous function, I just use the Q dot choice set dot create. But here I have a new variable which is C to indicate that it is an object and I want to put it into the object C. And then I have the choice text just hacking and then float is 0 and then this is the URL. Okay. So if I already have this C, I can check what is the ID of this one. Okay, the ID of this C is from the where is neighbor because it is created with this object. So you can connect to any of the attribute on that particular data. It is about the choice. So I can have like the information for all. So we have to find the URL, not much, I don't know, and just checking again. And if I want to see how many data that I have, you can just use count. Okay. When you use count, then okay, now for the question 1, I have 4 answers. So this is adding the data in the different table which have the foreign key. So we need to understand also how to read the data in different kind of solutions. So this is the first way. Okay, so I give the explanation, but maybe I will just show you with the examples here. Now, from the previous section, we just started from the question table. Now, I would like to teach you how if I want to start from the choice table. So from the choice table, I would like to know what are the values that available in the database. So I can just do the same like the question. So choice is the table name, objects, and then I would like to show all those information in the list. So the first list will be the ID one, and then the question one, and then this is the first data. It is related with the question number 1, and then please find the URL, and then the port is 0, and then this is the link. And then this is the data number 2. It is related to the question number 1, and the answer is not much. The port is 0, and then this is the link. and so on. Okay. Now I can do some kind of order by. I hope that you know already the database, the SQL. Order by means I want to sort the data. So sorting, it can be anything. You can sort this on the string or the alphabet, or you can sort this on the value or the like numbers. Because the numbers are 0 for all. So let's order by the choice text. The choice text means, please find the URL, not maths, and so on. So I can just run this one. Okay, I starts first. So this is the data number 3. And then this is the data number 4. Start with J. And then next is N. It starts with N. And then last is P. Okay. So it is based on the alphabet sequence. It is the meaning by order by. You can also change this to the number numeric column. Okay. I can say like this one. Okay, by now I think you already know how to use get. So I want to get the data in ID form. It means I want to get the data when the primary key equals to 4. So you can see the C is the data about just hacking again. Now let me change the foot. Let me update. Oh, many people like this answers. So I will change the foot equals to 5. And once I did the changes, you need to save it. Okay? Because it is not creation, it is modification. So you need to save. So if you want to see what is the foot, now it equals to 5. You can have another way to check the information. You can call the table and then you can call the objects, and I want to get the ID equals to 4, and then I want to know what is the value of the column codes. So using this statement, I can also get the same value, 5. Now, let's say I want to see all the data, and let's order by codes. Because I just changed codes to 5. So I want to see from the codes. And we have minus. What does it mean by minus? Can you guess? What is minus? Can you guess? In the order by, there are 2 ways, ascending and descending. Okay. So if we use the minus, it means we are going to sort it descending from the biggest one to the smallest one. We just update just hacking again. So this is the first. The remaining data, how to make the sequence. So Python will determine. I think in this case, because it is the first answer, and this is the second answer that we have, and this is the third answer. So they follow the sequence. Okay. And all the votes are 0. So yeah, they just follow the sequence, maybe based on the date. Now I have another I have another query. So now the query is, I have two kind of condition for the order by. Let's say when I order by the first column, there are some values that the same. So if they are the same, then let's use the second column for the condition. So we can use this way, choice text and then false. Maybe this data is not good to see the result. Yeah. It shows I don't know, just hacking, not much, and please. Because the order will be based on the choice text. Okay. If the choice texts are the same, then they can consider the false. That's why the order is not changing from the first one. Now you can combine with several conditions. So you can combine the filtering, which is the condition to check based on the column name or the column values. Let's say I want to see all the choices where the false equal to 0, and then I want to order by the choice text. Okay. So you can have more functions after a function. So in this case, after filter, I can have order by. So after order by, you can have count and so on. So let's see what is the result for this one. In the false 0, there are three kind of data. Okay. And the three data, I would like to order by the choice text. So at the first time, we know that the order, please find the URL, not much, and I do not. Now it starts with I do not know, and then not much, and then please find the URL. It follows the sequence from the choice text. How can we delete data? So let's say I want to see the ID 3. So the ID 3 is I do not know. Maybe as the administrator, I think this is not good answer. So I want to delete. Then I can put it into an object. So it is a good practice to put it into one variable. Let's say S. So S will be the object from ID 3. And then I can check what is S. S is I do not know. And then you can do delete. So after you do the delete, it will connect to the choice. Okay. So the deletion, it will check which answer is belong to. Okay, this answer belongs to the question 1. So it is in the data 1. So there's one data that will be deleted. So you can check again directly to the objects column, and there will be remaining 3 data. Please find the URL, not much, and just hacking again. So the data I do not know has been deleted. Okay. So whenever you do with this deletion, please be careful, because it is not possible to reactivate your data. Okay. So once it is deleted, then it will be deleted. Okay, now let's do more practice. How if we want to modify the schema? As you know, now in the social media, we have like and dislike. Okay. Maybe some people do not like with the answers. Now let's make a new attribute, dislike. So let's say that you are going to append a column in the table choice. So you can go to the model. Okay. So in the model, you need to have one more attribute, new attribute, dislike. And I want to set this dislike as integer field, and the default is 0. Okay. As I mentioned to you, we need to again run. Okay. There are two, yeah, there are at least two. Okay, you can do three, but there are at least two statements that you need to run after you update or you change the DB schema. First is the make migration, and the other is migrate. Okay. You can use this one, Python manage.py make migration, Python manage.py migrate. Okay. This is from the Python console, or you can directly use the tools that I teach you. So run manage.py. Using this one, it automatically contains the first part, Python manage.py. Python manage.py. So you don't need to write those statement. You can just do the make migration. Okay, it depends on you. You can write your app name, or you don't write the app name. This is also fine. So if you do the make migration, there will be a message that now there is a new things in the FAQ, which is the additional of dislike. You just add a new column dislike into the choice, add field dislike to choice. And after you have this one, as I mentioned to you, after make migration, do not forget to do the migrate. So migrate will affect the new data, the new Python file into the Django environment. So after you have this one, you need to run again. So last time, because I directly run the console, yeah, it is not working well because the new environment is still not updated in the shell. So you need to stop this one. You can run again the shell, rerun the shell, and then again, yeah, you need to do the model calling. Okay, I want to call the model, and then after I call the model, let's see what is the choice. Okay. So we have still three. Okay, we don't add any data, we don't delete any more data, but we have a new attribute. So let's look at the value list. whatever. Oh, sorry. We need to put the S values, this. Oh, I missed this. Values, this. Okay. Sorry. Sorry for my mistake. Values, this. And you can see that the data now have one more value, which is 0. This 0 is the dislike. You can look at the data query here. If you run this query, you will have new column, dislike. So after you update it, then you will see this column. Yeah, you can also use this command in the Python console to see all the values. So this value means including the column name, ID1, question ID1, choice text, please find the URL, port 0, URL is this one, and dislike. Okay. Okay, so the remaining one will be about how we are doing with the Django in the total environment. Okay. Okay, due to the time limitation, I think I will stop. So we will continue this part on Monday. Okay. Thank you very much for this class and see you on Monday.